Go to a different place, which is a new normal. 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 New normal. Embrace the new normal.
The new normal.
The new normal?
The new normal. The new normal. This new normal is going to look very, very different.
Not normal, but a new normal.
Not normal, but a new normal.
A new normal.
New normal.
There will be a new normal.
A new normal.
New normal.
A new normal. The new normal.
A new normal.
This is the new normal.
This is our new normal.
Our new normal.
A new normal.
Our new normal.
New normal.
The new normal.
Our new normal.
We will transition into the new normal.
This will be the new normal until a vaccine is developed.
You guys are watching Talks with Ryan. Like, share, and subscribe. Let's get on in to today's video. Hey guys, what's up? And welcome back for another video. Now I want to focus first off with this article. It's from the Lock News Network and it's from February 7th of 2018. And it says that Bill Gates, former doctor, says that the billionaire refused to vaccinate his children. Now, the physician, the Gates family doctor, continued to explain that Gates would not let any of his children receive the vaccination when they were younger. Now, he quoted, "I do not know if they had them vaccinated when they grew up, but I do know he point blank chose not to vaccinate them as children." That's what their doctor said behind a closed door medical interview. Now, was this doctor just stepping out to try to do the right thing and expose him for the fraud that he's seen him to be? And, you know, he has to take into account for all the HIPAA violations, patient-doctor agreements, everything like that. So, was this doctor really stepping out and doing the right thing, or is this some kind of hearsay? Because as far as Melinda has come out and said after this article, she said that none of it is true, of course, and it's all lies, and that all of her children have been vaccinated with every single vaccination known to man. Although Bill Gates does catch a lot of grief over the whole vaccines and everything that he does, which I feel like most of it is deserved for the most part, but there's a more silent partner who's also helping push this same agenda. And a lot of people seem to let their cognitive dissonance maintain control of their reasoning and their logic when it comes to this particular person.
They have to get the shot. The vaccinations are so important. This is really going around now. They have to get their shot.
They have to get their shot.
Take to get back to normalcy.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a vaccine by the end of the year. We're doing very well with the vaccine. And I will tell you something. I just literally left a meeting. We're mobilizing our military and other forces, but we're mobilizing our military.
We're mobilizing our military and other forces, but we're mobilizing our military
On the basis that we do have a vaccine. You know, it's a massive job to give this vaccine. Our military is now being mobilized, so at the end of the year, we're going to be able to give it to a lot of people very, very rapidly.
Speaking of doing things rapidly, and also thanks to this silent partner, we now have Operation Warp Speed. And we still have to first create the drug, then mass produce it, and deliver it with very little testing or confidence in the final product.
No, I hope we're going to have a vaccine, and we're going to fast track it like you've never seen before. If we come up with a vaccine, I think they probably will.
And who's in charge of that Operation Warp Speed?
We have, you know who's in charge of it, honestly? I am. I'll tell you, I'm really in charge of it.
Who's in charge of that Operation Warp Speed?
We have, you know who's in charge of it, honestly? I am.
I am.
I'll tell you, I'm really in charge of it. I could say somebody else. I will say we're dealing with, as you know, the general and the admiral. They're very much in charge. But I think probably more than anything, I'm in charge.
More than anything, I'm in charge.
We don't know if these vaccines will work. We don't know if they'll work to avoid deaths. We don't know if they'll work to avoid transmission.
All right, the next part of this video, it has took me to Africa. Why? First, because of trespass, which we're going to get into. And secondly, because Africa seems to be the place where most of the crash course trials are ran on these medications before they're implemented upon America. So, who's behind this whole program in Africa? It's none other than Bill Gates and Bill's well-funded group, Gavi, along with MasterCard and a new AI system called Trust Stamp. They're calling this predictive policing, and it's a program that will link your identity to your vaccination history. And that, my friends, is force and control, which equals coercion.
Is there something to worry about with medicines? That is, might some of them have side effects? Do we need safety testing? And we're taking things that are, genetically modified organisms, and we're injecting them in little kids' arms. We just shoot them right into the vein.
Things that are, genetically modified organisms, and we're injecting them in little kids' arms. We just shoot them right into the vein.
All right, this program, it goes by Trust Pass. It also goes by Wellness Pass. And it sounds a whole lot like China's social credit score, except only with this new system, they're now linking your vaccination records along with your social credit score. And that's where the policing part comes in to predictive policing. Now let me read a brief part of this article. The Wellness Pass Partnership, with the aim of being introduced in low-income remote communities in West Africa and then later replicated worldwide. There it is. The program is a result of a public and private partnership between Gavi, Vaccine Alliance, backed by Bill Gates, MasterCard, and AI-powered Trust Stamp. Now, guys, this is exactly where I thought this whole thing was going, and it turns out it is exactly where it's headed. It's a trial run, and not only is it being trialed in Africa right now, it's catching on like wildfire. As far as I've found reading through all these different documents, it seems like it's not even been a whole month that they've trialed this thing in West Africa. And now the UK government is preparing to roll out their own version called COVID Pass. Now this version is a lot like Africa's, except they're using a biometric RFID chip enabled digital health passport to monitor nearly every aspect of all citizens. And guess what? They're doing it all in the name of strengthening public and health management via military-grade technology. But it's for the better of humanity, and it's for good intentions. So that makes everything all right, right? Wrong. Remember, guys, Daniel Webster quoted, "Good intentions will always be depleted for every assumption of authority." It's hardly too strong to say that the Constitution was made to guard the people against the dangers of good intentions. There are good men in all ages who mean to govern well, but they mean to govern. They promise to be good masters, but they mean to be your masters.
What we'll have to have is certificates of who's a recovered person, who's a vaccinated person.
Actually, what we'll have to have is certificates of who's a recovered person, who's a vaccinated person.
Because you don't want people moving around the world where you'll have some countries that won't have it under control. Sadly, you don't want to completely block off the ability for those people to go there and come back and move around. So eventually there will be sort of this digital immunity proof that will help facilitate the global reopening up.
Gavi is a vaccine initiative group that is funded by Bill Gates. And it seems like that these dry run testing that's been happening overseas for years is starting to catch up with the billionaire slowly but surely.
And, is there something to worry about with medicines? That is, might some of them have side effects? Do we need safety testing? And we're taking things that are, genetically modified organisms, and we're injecting them in little kids' arms. We just shoot them right into the vein.
Now that we're getting into the last segment of this video, here's a list of the vaccine ingredients that a 2-month-old receives in one single doctor's visit. Now, guys, I will post all these articles and these pictures in the description of this video so you guys can copy it, and I'll also have it on my Twitter page, which I will also link in the description of this video. Now, personally, I feel like the purpose behind all this is job security for the big you-know-what corporations. It's a way to make money in the aftermarket. And by aftermarket, I mean this. And for a little bit of evidence to back that up, the DoD just put out a study recently that suggests that the regular flu vaccine may increase the risk of you catching you know what. See? Aftermarket. Now guys, if that ain't enough evidence or proof to prove something, I want you guys to check out this video clip. It's Senior Merrick Scientist Dr. Maurice Hamilton, and he makes some astonishing admissions on a live recording. Check this out.
But you weren't activating his, though.
That's correct. No, that's right. But yellow fever vaccine had leukemia virus in it, and this is in the days of very crude science. So anyway, I went down and talked to him, and Albert said, "Well, why are you concerned about it?" I said, "Well, I'll tell you what." I said, "I have a feeling in my bones that this virus is different. I don't know why to tell you this, but I've been around biology a long time. I just think this virus may have some long-term effects." And he said, "What?" I said, "Well, cancer."
I love it. I love it. Go ahead.
No. I said, "Albert," I said, you probably think I'm nuts, but I just have that feeling. Well, in the meantime, we had taken this virus and put it into hamsters. So we had this meeting, and that was sort of the topic of the day, and the jokes that were going around was, gee, we would win the Olympics because the Russians would all be loaded down with tumors. This is where the vaccine was being tested. This was
right. Right.
So, and it really destroyed the meeting. It was a big intervention.
Yeah, right.
So it was sort of the topic. No. Anyway.
Was this the Cancer Society meeting in the New York Cancer Society?
No, this was the Sister Kenning.
Oh, it's Sister Kenning, right.
And Del Becco got up and said that he foresaw problems with these kinds of agents.
Why didn't this get out in the press?
Well, I guess it did. I don't remember. We had no press release on it, obviously. You don't go out. This is a scientific affair within the scientific community.
Guys, I want you all to remember one thing. I believe in freedom, which also means that you get to do whatever you want to do, regardless if anybody likes it or not. And I'm not a doctor, and this is not medical advice or medical information that I'm handing to you. This is only information that I have found, and I'm only relaying it to the viewers. Other than that, guys, make sure and leave this video a thumbs up and try and share it on all your social media platforms. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure and hit that subscribe button and the bell before you all leave. Other than that, guys, take care of yourself, and I will see you all in the next video.